God is willing to bless your marital life, but you could be the person that is delaying this blessing. For example, you cannot be greedy and you cannot expect God to send you the perfect person. Being greedy means you want everything good for yourself alone and you're never satisfied. God does not want this kind of attitude in a relationship that He will be a part of. You need to let the spirit of greediness leave your life if you ever want to finally meet the perfect person for you. You should pray to God to help you get rid of that spirit in your life. There is nothing God cannot do, and He is ready to help you be a better person. Being greedy is never good for a fruitful relationship. Your partner will find nothing pleasant about the relationship with you. It would result to an unreciprocated love. That is, even if you love your partner, because a person who loves his or her partner would not want to be greedy or selfish with that person. It is very important to be contented with what you have. This does not mean that you should not aspire to be someone great, but it should never be at the expense of other people's feelings. God wants you to let go of this greediness before He sends the right person your way. Lust is never a good reason to be in a relationship. It just means that you are there to fill your physical desires, and once this is done, you do not mind letting go of your partner. If you truly are in love, you do not go into a relationship because you lust over somebody's body or you just have sexual desires that you fantasize about the person. You need to get rid of this mindset and be free from all of the lust in your life. It is true that it's also important to be physically attracted, but emotional attraction should be your priority because it is easy to mold someone to your desire physically, but it's almost impossible to do so when it comes to emotion. If you're trying to meet the perfect person, you need to let lust go and go into a relationship with the purest of intentions. Only if you do this will you be able to prove to God that you are truly ready to be in a relationship, and only then will God send the perfect person to you. If you are unable to do this, it means you're not ready yet, and God will not send that person your way yet. This is part of the ways that God builds people for marriage. Until you get rid of that lust, you will never meet the one that God has reserved for you. You cannot take your love for material things into a relationship. This means that you might be judging your partner's commitment with how many gifts they have gotten for you. This needs to stop if you're going to hope to get into a relationship with a better outcome. If you are always judging people based on how much they have to spend on you, then your relationship will be a joke because you would always see people that are doing better than your spouse financially. This means you would keep jumping from relationship to relationship looking for the next rich person. Learn to be contented with what you have. Learn to let go of love for material things, and if you cannot, learn to get those things yourself and not put unnecessary pressure on your relationship. Until you're able to achieve this, God will not send the perfect person your way. When you're ready to let go of this, then the right person will walk into your life. Also, stop the habit of lying to people you claim to love. Lies will not get you anywhere. It would only end up destroying your relationship. You need to be truthful to really keep a relationship going. God is never in support of lies, no matter the situation. As a true believer, you should always be able to say the truth in all situations. Lying does nothing good for a relationship. Instead, it delays the progress of a relationship and also delays God's blessings that He already has planned for the relationship. No matter what's going on in your marriage, you should never think of lying. It's never the answer, and when your partner finds out the truth, they will never trust you again, and this will surely cause issues in your relationship. God will never support a relationship that is built on lies, and He sure would not bless that relationship. Until you give up the habit of lying, you will never find the perfect person for you, and God is purposely withholding that person from entering into your life because you're not ready for a relationship. There is no eternal or spiritual benefit attached to immorality, though many people indulge in it today, but they do not factor in the repercussions that it has on their future. There is no immoral act that will go unpunished. You need to give up immorality because only then can you truly keep a decent relationship. There is nothing boring about living a moral life. That is exactly what God wants for you, And you need to be able to do this if you really want to show to God that you are ready for the right person in your life. God will always bring the perfect person to your life after He has seen that you are ready to be in a relationship. Being immoral can end your relationship. God definitely wants you to give up immorality before He sends the perfect person for you. When you have finally achieved this, He will intervene in your relationship, and you will have the best relationship that you've asked for. Definitely, God is against anything that is ungodly. God wants you to live a life that represents who He is. Living in an ungodly way is never a way to progress. It is obvious you're just wasting your time because God is not in support of this kind of lifestyle, and you need God's help to be able to keep a steady and growing relationship before you can get married. God will not give you your heart's desires if you keep living in an ungodly way. If you really want to be in a relationship that you've always dreamt of, you need to live in a godly way. You need to live the life of a true Christian to attract God's blessings in relationship and marriage. There is nothing that is too difficult for God to do. Sometimes He just takes His time to make sure that He is sending you that blessing at the right time. God knows everything going on in this world. He sees your heart and He knows your heart's desires. He surely knows what's best for you, and when the time comes, He will surely do what is best for you. Giving up on an ungodly life is definitely one thing that God wants for you before He sends the right person your way. You need to put other people's feelings into consideration. You cannot always think about yourself alone. You need to be able to make sacrifices for people around you. There should be someone that you're willing to make sacrifices for, because if you're not willing to make sacrifices for that special person in your life, then there is absolutely no point in being in a relationship with that person. Until you're able to make sacrifices for another person, God will not send the right person your way. You need to make sacrifices, even when it's inconvenient for you. This is what being in love is all about. When you can make these changes in your life, God will definitely send the perfect person your way. It is okay that sometimes you want to be alone, but during these periods, you should also know that there are people that want to be there for you. No matter the situation, you should never shut them out of your life. Find ways to make them feel part of your life like they want to be. Learn to sacrifice your space to accommodate that special person. When you can do this, God will surely send that perfect person into your life.